9 ETFs offering exposure to Ether futures launched on the same day last week. 5 hold only Ether futures, while the other 4 hold a mix of Bitcoin and Ether futures. Joining us now to discuss is ProShares Global Investment Strategist Simeon Hyman. Welcome, Simeon.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to see you. So, ProShares, they offered some of these an ETF exchange-traded products here based on Ether. Reuters said that the ProShares Ether Strategy ETF saw just, it was something like a little under $900,000 of trading on the first day. How would you say this went?
Yeah, we're showing the most volume of all the Ether ETFs that launched, and the spreads are really tight. So we are certainly optimistic that that's an indication that folks will see that as as a proof point of the efficaciousness of the solution. What we proved with BITO, we're the global leader in crypto-linked ETFs. As you're probably familiar with, we launched BITO, our Bitcoin Strategy ETF, 2 years ago, and it's seen about $2 billion in flows. It's the largest crypto-linked ETF. So we know that that combination of the regulated futures market and ETF in an ETF wrapper is a very effective solution. And with the trading and the tight spreads, we think folks will see this as an important way to get exposure to the second largest cryptocurrency.
It's the second largest cryptocurrency, and as you pointed out, BITO, it did phenomenally well when it was launched, and it's still alive. It's still doing well. It's still a huge chunk of the futures market on the CME is based on BITO buying all these futures here. But we're not seeing the same. We're seeing just a fraction of that when it comes to the Ether ETF. Is it a lack of interest in general to crypto right now, given market circumstances? We're seeing the lowest volume all across the board that we've seen in 5 or 10 years, even in some cases, when it comes to crypto. Is the lack of interest relative to BITO in the Ether's futures due to a lack of interest in Ether, or a lack of interest in general in crypto right now?
I think in the very short run, the answer is we don't know. What we know is that Ether is about 30 or 40% the size of Bitcoin from a market cap standpoint. We also know that it offers different exposure to the cryptocurrency universe, if you will. Bitcoin fixed supply and more of a digital gold. Ether not fixed supply, but access to the growth of the Ethereum ecosystem. So these two are complementary. Part of it may be that, folks are educating themselves as to the complementary role of these two in getting crypto exposure. But in the very short run, we don't know. But if you had to make a guess over time, a decent guess would be, ultimately size pro rata to their market caps.
How does this reflect on the idea that, okay, if there is a spot ETF, that changes everything? Why aren't people who are saying that getting on that Ether exposure with the Ether futures ETFs, if that's the case? If they're saying they have similar risk profiles, so why aren't they using the futures ETF?
Compared to
the people who are saying that a spot ETF, should it launch, will be a huge boon to crypto. But why aren't these people right now investing in a futures ETF which has similar risks?
Yeah, again, in the very short run, we don't know. What we know from the BITO experience is that a futures based ETF is a really, really effective solution. I was in the wings listening to all your previous conversations, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the spot and the exchange market. It's just not quite mature yet, and we're not in any position to guess what the regulatory path would be. But we know that here and now today that a futures-based ETF is a very effective solution. You're in CME, you got a clearinghouse, margins posted, it's regulated, all that good stuff. Put it in an ETF, you can buy it in a brokerage account, a very robust solution. And we know from performance that BITO has tracked Bitcoin very well since its inception. So I think it's the here and now. It's a very solid solution. And again, short term, over the week or two, we could come up with lots of theories, but something pointing towards that kind of pro rata-ness from a market cap standpoint, we think is the opportunity.
You know, 9 funds launched at the same time, removing that first mover advantage for any single one of the funds that launched. How are you thinking about remaining competitive?
Well, number one, we're the global leader in crypto-linked ETFs because we're the folks that brought BITO to the market first. And one thing we know how to do at ProShares is run funds like this. So we certainly think we have the expertise to do so. And the other is to make sure that people are aware of the funds, and not just, of course, ETH, but we also launched, as you noted, BETH, which is our Bitcoin and Ether market cap weighted strategy fund, and BETI, which is equally weighted. So that's part of our suite. And as I noted, so far, our volumes are at the top of the heap and our spreads are super, super tight. So we'll keep doing our jobs, and we think that'll speak for itself.
You said that you can't really speak about the regulatory chances here, which nobody can, but I'm just curious, like, what is the strongest argument for something like this being approved? Like, why would this be in regulators' interest to approve something like this?
Are you talking about a spot ETF?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I not really my expertise. I don't know what that path will be, and no one knows how long it will be. So we're kind of happy to be offering the future solutions in the here and now. And we also think that ultimately, whenever that day comes, there's a very likely odds of coexistence. You think about things like in the futures market, there's academic evidence that price realization is actually a little bit faster. Remember, there is no one price for any cryptocurrency. There are multiple exchanges, and that's resolved in the futures market by using multiple exchanges to triangulate that closing price. So, there are advantages to the future space, even in whenever that world comes, and no one really knows when it could be.
Would you rather keep things as is, or do you want to see a spot ETF? I mean, that might eat into your market share there.
Yeah, we don't really have a point of view on that, but as I said, we're just sort of happy to have the lights on, and happy to have the largest crypto linked ETF in BITO, and really pleased to bring these ETFs.
It's okay if you want to trash a spot ETF here, and make the case for why everyone should just go futures. I'm not going to say no.
I think there's kind of no need to trash. It's just no one knows when and how, and the lights are on, and we're really proud to be running these funds quite effectively.
Do you think you'll see any other assets besides Bitcoin and ETH as potential futures down the road?
I can't comment on our product development path per se, but we're obviously always at it. Innovation is core to who we are at ProShares. So if we see opportunities, then we'll pursue.
All right, Simeon, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much.
That was ProShares Global Investment Strategist Simeon Hyman.